I need to learn how to change my title from within OBS. I feel like at one point I knew how, but then I just took a bunch of months off and I just forgot all the cool stuff that I knew how to do. Nito, the first of the dead,
the witch of Izalith,
and her daughters of chaos.
Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights.
I probably will, because I do have a empty hotkey.
So easily forgotten.
I have a couple hotkeys that I don't use.
With the strength of lords, they challenge the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bullets peeled apart.
Oh my god.
Witches weaved great firestorms.
The lore of this game is so good. Is so good. I will spend 3 full games talking about how cool the lore of this game is. There's Nito. He's so cool.
And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more.
Damn. They're not rocks. And I'll tell you what he just crushed. And it makes it cooler. His name is Seath the Scaleless.
But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign.
I want to get this tattooed on me so bad. Okay. Okay. So, the story as we know it. Oh, hold on. Hold on.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land,
A couple years ago.
the undead are corralled and led to the north.
Entirely possible. No, we played Dark Souls 3.
Where they are locked away to await
I got you
the
3.
end of the world.
You played the Pyromancer, and you fought, I remember you beat Udix Gundyr. That's not an easy first boss. It's not an easy tutorial boss. Well, honey. So we are undead. This is our character. We are beef jerky. Man, we're probably going to be unarmored for a while, too, just so we can fast roll. Delicious. Exactly. Okay, we've got a... Okay. So, what we're looking at in this world is that originally there were just dragons. That was it. And dragons in this world are more of like a mineral than a creature. You'll notice that they all had scales that broke apart with lightning. Those are scales of immortality. And I think that is why Seath betrayed his own, is because he possessed no scales of immortality. And those were what he was crushing at the end. There's a lot of speculation about that. He wanted to be immortal, like his brethren, but he wasn't. Dragons are born as everlasting. And you'll see an example of that later in this game. I will make a point to show you of an everlasting dragon. They are truly immortal. They cannot be killed by any means. Evident of that, we are able to sit here and chop at one for a week if we want, and it won't die. Here's the tutorial boss for Dark Souls 1. You can fight it and kill it right there. I don't suggest it, and in FromSoft fashion, if you kill it right there, you get a weapon. Not super worth it. It's not even a great weapon, to be honest. What are the stats on this plank shield? Is this even worth using? 75% physical defense. We'll hold on to it for now. It's not, I mean, it's not a good weapon insofar as every weapon has its uses in this game. Weapons are tools. And they should be one of the best in the game. It's really not. It's really not. Alright. There's our first guy. So these are hollows. These are people who have the dark sign. If you notice right on our chest, this mass, that is our dark sign. Right above our heart. And we are undead. When we pass away, we wake up. And the only and we slowly lose a little bit of humanity. There's a classic From Software trap. A boulder. What are the bloodstains? Oh, these bloodstains are where a player has died. So I can watch how that player died. So theoretically, in an early playthrough of the game... Oh yeah. Oh yeah, everybody does. Everybody does. So theoretically, on your first playthrough of the game or early playthroughs, you can use those bloodstains as kind of a scouting mechanism. So this guy says, I'm sorry, thou who art undead art chosen. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. That's the prophecy. We are undead, and we are chosen because we are undead. And what we have to do is ring the bell of awakening, and the fate of the undead will be revealed to us. That's the prophecy as he knows it. So yeah, that's the only direction we've got right now. And if you can hear that noise, he just passed away. There's a reason I didn't advance. He just died. He made a point to say that before I go hollow, kind of seems to imply that you know when your last death is going to be and when your insanity. Yes. Yeah, in this game, before I ever start playing, my character has already died. Also, barehanded parries, we got those. We still got those. Yeah, I mean, this is my character after he has died. I am no longer a normal human being. I am basically a zombie. But in this game, that's a temporary state. That guy that saved us doesn't have a name. It was in cut content. It was revealed. It was like a text dump of data from, I believe, the Xbox 360 version of the game. I don't believe that was us. I believe that was just like an exposition thing. I believe we're just... In this game, your character is nothing special. I don't believe that was even us. I think that was just kind of letting you know the undead and things like that. I could be wrong. I always kind of just assumed that that was just a nature of the world type thing. So there's a glitch here. You're supposed to falling attack, but if you do a jumping attack, you'll actually hit twice. If you notice, I collided with his head twice. That's a glitch. It's been known since very early on in the game. Hasn't been patched out yet. Never will. There's the first boss. So the cool thing about being a deprived, there is the thing about being a deprived is this club is not a bad weapon. Like in Dark Souls 3, the deprived is one of my favorite classes to start as. Like, do not sleep on this stick. It does a considerable amount of damage, especially when you two-hand it like this. We aren't going to be using the club for long, just because I'm not a fan of its moveset. But do not sleep on the club. It is a serious weapon. So this is the Undead Asylum. It's basically where you lock up people who can't die. That's it. If every time you get murdered, you wake back up, how do you get rid of these people? Well, you lock them in here. This is where all the undead go. And what's noteworthy is that thou who art undead art chosen to go on a pilgrimage into the land of ancient lords. Well, I just killed one of them. Well, yes and no. It is a huge cliff, but there's more to it than that. So basically,
The ancient legends, it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage.
were we chosen
To the
because
land
we
of the
escaped?
ancient lords.
Or did we escape because we were chosen?
Lordran.
And if the latter, who chose us? We are one of many. We are one of many. We'll find that out as we move along. But that contributes to the ending of the game. We find that out as we go along, but exactly. Well, going around, level up, and kindle at bonfires. Okay, we have 2 levels right now. I don't know what I want to put them in. Wrap her paw around your leg. She rests her head on my feet a lot. One more attunement gives you another spell slot. We're not going to be casting a lot of spells, but... Oh, when I'm walking? No. Just when I'm sitting here. Like right now she's laying really close to me and her paw is up against my leg. When you're walking, that's wild. I don't really know what stats I'm going to raise. Let's do 1 in Vitality, 1 in Attunement. We're going to do Attunement just so we can get a second spell slot. I don't really plan on doing a lot of magic, but it might be nice to have. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not sure. They say it's a sign of intelligence in dogs if they use their paws to perceive the environment rather than their faces. They say that's like a sign of intelligence. There's a guy up here. This guy will teach us miracles if we were so inclined. We're really not. But we'll talk to him anyway.
Hello there. I am Petrus of...
This is Petrus of Thoroland.
If not, I prefer...
He'd prefer to keep a distance if possible. Yeah.
Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance. But I
The
also
guy by
want
the
you to
well.
know- No, go.
That would be Mr. Crestfallen Knight. So don't worry, you'll get your vindication. Right now, this guy's a little bit above our pay grade. He's 100% killable, obviously, like everything is. But this guy's letting us know, hey, that Bell of Awakening you're going for, there's actually two of them. One in the Undead Church, one at the base of Blighttown. Like, this is as explicit of an exposition as we're ever going to get in this game. Ring them both, something happens. Brilliant, right? Says, you're here to ring the Bell of Awakening. I got bad news for you, bub. There's two of them. And when you do it, a thing happens. Who the hell knows what? Blighttown? Blighttown's no joke. He'll die. Do not worry about that, Acid. He will 100% die. He's not going to last this playthrough. But he is a good exposition dump. So we're going to keep him alive for the time being. But do not worry. I will get you vindication. Send a message. Zelda's popping off the spot. Yeah. There are some that are worth breaking, and I will break those. Morning Star. So this is another weapon I probably won't be using. The attack rating is lower by a decent amount, by 12. And it afflicts bleeding, which is nice, but I'm not a huge fan of the moveset. Are there fake chests in this? There are. There are. And I will tell you how to differentiate between a fake chest when we come across one. Hold on. Let's look at this chest. Look at the chain. It's aiming backwards. Regular chest, no problem. So we're gonna do the fabled graveyard run, which is where we're gonna piss off a bunch of skeletons. We're gonna get some items, and we're gonna run like hell and hope we don't die. Excuse me, skeletons. These guys are, again, a little bit above my pay grade. Particularly this big one right here. Zweihander. Should this be a strength playthrough? It might be. Oh, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, guys. Oh, no. No. I suffered from blood loss. Hold on. There's another thing I want to get. I'm not done here. Excuse me. Excuse me. Winged Spear. Perfect. Alright. That's okay. Did Miyazaki like Castlevania? Almost definitely. I mean, Castlevania is probably a pretty significant influence for a lot of people. Game devs of this time period. Miyazaki, he cites a lot of different things for his inspirations. They do a lot of real-world stuff. Like real-world inspirations. You ever play Death Stranding? I did not. Soul Lost Undead. Oh, that's the one with Norman Reedus. Amazon, the game. All right, so here's a couple things we're gonna do early. Obviously, you just saw the graveyard run, which gave me access to a few weapons that we might use at some point. The Caduceus shield is important because it has 65 magic resistance, which is significant. We're going to be using that for a boss later. And we also have the Winged Spear, which is another good one, and the Claymore, or the Zweihander. This might be a strength playthrough, boys. I'm not sure. All right, so down here, I took the key, so I will have the. I will. I'll be able to. I'll be able to get here, whereas I normally would not. Not at this moment. There's a couple runs I want to make. S stock is best stock. That's a good dexterity weapon. It is an extended rapier. It's basically like the sword that Alucard uses in the Castlevania anime would be an S stock. Largest of the thrusting swords. It's a good weapon. It's a really good weapon in Dark Souls 3. I like it a lot. I don't really use it much in Dark Souls 1. Alright, so we're doing a run again. We are almost definitely going to die doing this, and that is kind of part of the plan. Excuse me, ladies. Alright, we gotta get out. Alright, yeah. Saw that coming from a mile out. That's a little walkway, by the way. A very thin walkway. Oh my goodness. Even if they're intentional deaths, we gotta count them. Got to count them. So the cool thing about that is, right out of the box, we're going to reinforce our Estus shards. So now our Estus flasks are +1 already. No, I died at the skeletons. Again, they're planned deaths. I'm about to get another planned death. Actually, it might be a death. I always try to get out. I 99 times out of 100 die. I have escaped once or twice. But yeah, what I'm going to be doing this playthrough is... This is going to be a mix of a casual playthrough and also like a bit of a walkthrough, almost. I'm going to be doing a lot of like how to get started stuff. Like how to get good equipment early type stuff. Things like that. I'm not going to be using all of it, but the thought is this is going to be my definitive Dark Souls 1 playthrough. There is way better Dark Souls 1 content out there. Way more comprehensive content out there. Yeah, I'm all too happy to make this lore and strategy as much as I can. So this door normally is locked, and you'd utilize the master key. So we are in the Valley of Drakes, which is kind of a later, I want to say like an early to mid game area. Down here is the this is Blighttown. This is the back way into Blighttown. We will not be taking this, although I want to, because I hate Blighttown. But we're going to be doing everything. So this is the third planned death. And I say planned death because it's 99% a planned death. And this is another bit of gear that's worthwhile to get at the start of the game. Alright, so see this dragon? You're like, this dragon's dead. He's not anything to worry about. He ain't heavy, man. And then you're like, oh shit, he is heavy. Oh my god, I actually timed that. Hold on. Am I getting out? Yo! Okay, so that's like the third time I've ever gotten out of that. Both of those attacks are hard to dodge, especially because they're blind at that point. So, we got a couple really cool items. It's almost better to die there because now I have to walk back up. We got a couple really cool items. We got a Stora's Straight Sword. The significance of this is that it has a faith requirement, and it actually scales with your faith. And it's a really good weapon. Extremely powerful early game weapon. The The scaling is not amazing, but the fact that it requires very little and deals a healthy amount of mixed damage early in the game is significant. We also got... Yeah, we also got the Dragon Crest Shield, which is a very good shield against fire. Which, if you're privy with this game, you'll know that I will be encountering fire often. So now we have a good shield against magic. Not an amazing shield, a good shield against magic. And an amazing shield against fire. And a fistful of weapons that we can build into as soon as we get some stats under our belt. And we have a loincloth and a stick, so there's that. Alright, so we've already rested here. No need to do that again. So, we are on our way to the first of the 2 Bells of Awakening. And the first one, we have to go to the Aqueduct to the Undead Burg, which is where Crestfallen Warrior told us to go. We're just going to take it super slow here. Yeah, we don't even... Do we have a 100% Fizz Block shield? We have no armor on. We can equip a shield. There we go. Still fast rolling. Come over here, dickhead. We're also gonna... Yep. We're also gonna grab a ring right here. So this ring is interesting. You put it on, and then when you die, you don't lose your souls, but the ring breaks. It also has a hidden extra usage that I'm going to highlight when we get to that point. But there's a reason I'm not equipping it yet. Hey, get backstabbed. This is how we're going to be doing a lot of this early game. I'm so sorry if it's boring watching me parry and backstab everything. That's just how you do a lot of Dark Souls 1. Not the case in 2 and 3, but in 1, it's just Parryville, man. That's just the way it is. Bye, rat. We're also picking up a lot of consumable soul items. These things right here. We're not going to be popping those until we absolutely need to. Just because the cool thing about them being in our inventory is if we die, we don't lose them. Alright, so before we go through this fog door, which isn't going to take us to a boss, but just the next section of the level, we're going to do a bit of exploration. So this area is amazing. Miyazaki himself was very, very involved in the design of this area, and it shows. Like, obviously there's a path up there. If you played Zelda, you are rewarded. Jesus, I'm getting bodied right now. So there's this path back here. Here's another brilliant piece of... Did you see me walk by a secret just now? Just the way this area is designed. If you're going fast, you won't even notice it. And it's nothing significant. Just a consumable soul item. And it doesn't even go up. Just like the way they did the architecture. I mean, it's there's secrets around every corner. In this area in particular. Miyazaki, I mean, I would be okay with just like this section super expanded. Like, I love this section a lot. And this is rubbish. So if you've... all these guys would have normally aggroed when I picked this up. Funny part about that, this is a little bit of fourth wall stuff. Rubbish with no value. Who in their right mind would bother carrying this around? Perhaps you need help. And the funny part about that is even picking it up activates the trap. Perhaps you need help, he says as four hollows descend on him. Super cool. Where'd this guy come from? Yep. Alright, so it's an item back here, another soul item. Again, we're just kind of building up our stores so that we can get our first level in the game. There's our glimpse. That guy needs to die at some point. That's Hellkite Drake. He is a big old beastie and a big old thorn in our side for a while. And caused a not small amount of rage for plenty of new players when this game first came out. Excuse me. And another shield here, this wooden shield. It's not nearly as good as the other shields that we have found so far as defensive statistics, but it's significantly lighter. So if we were maybe equipping better armor or a heavier weapon, and we needed to cut a little bit of weight, that would be how to do it. This is actually a somewhat heavy shield. There's our first bonfire in here. We're going to go ahead and respawn at this, or we're going to go ahead and rest at this just to set our respawn point. Because in this game, you do not have access to fast travel at the start of the game. In Dark Souls 2 and 3, they give you that right out of the box. Dark Souls 1, you about halfway through the game get access to fast travel. Until then, you are walking, my friend. So pretty simple. I mean, nothing super noteworthy in the Undead Burg yet. We're gonna meet our first, one of our first shopkeepers, not our first, but one of them here shortly. I love the parry, the riposte for the club. You just hit them in the stomach, and then when they're on their knees, you just tee off on their face. It's kind of hilarious. Come on out. Oh no, I hit that wall. Alright. So this person... I trade for sales. Everything's for sale. So there's a couple things we want to buy. The residence key. 100%. Do we want to buy a short sword? What's up, Lo? How you doing? Reinforced club with leather nailed to the pommel. Berg Undead Merchant proudly peddles this club. Reinforcement is shoddy indeed. Its attack is stronger, but the club is no longer dependably sturdy. Funny thing is, this actually does have lower durability, despite having a strength requirement that I do not meet. That having been said, we're still going to buy it, because we can two-hand it. Thank you kindly. So, We can two-hand this club and it will do more damage than our old one and inflict bleed. So that's nice. And if we get one more point in strength, we can wield it one-handed. Actually, let's use our old club just so we can parry for now, and then we'll upgrade to the reinforced club next level. Lilith, stop it. Oh, God. I forgot. So Dark Souls 1 has 8 directional rolling, as in you cannot roll but 8 directions. So like if I'm going forward, I can't roll freely like in the later games. So if I were inclined to roll like just to the side of an enemy to get behind him, Dark Souls 1 you don't get to do that. It's a much slower, more methodical game than Dark Souls 2 and 3. It's much more about standing your ground, hitting that parry, executing the enemy. Again, this chest, the chain is facing backwards. We know it's not a mimic. I think we'll find a mimic somewhat soon. Alright, which one of you wants to run up here first? With this club is really slow. I do not like fighting all 3 of these guys at once if I can avoid it. There we go. Got him. These are those guys that were chucking bombs at us earlier. Got him. There is an ambush. Not so much an ambush, just like an archer that would normally make dealing with this next group of enemies a big headache if you don't deal with him first. There we go. There's one parry. I'm going to lure this guy up here to level ground. Parrying on uneven ground is always really wonky. Boom. So these spear guys, I always like dealing with them by parrying them. Is he just going to stand there? Okay, we're just going to go towards the next thing. He'll catch up just eventually. Alright, come over here. Pop in the chest and tee off. Perfect. So we are coming across one of the first enemies that really gives a lot of people a hard time. And we're going to go ahead and equip this for something we're going to do shortly. And that's the Black Knight. This is an optional enemy. You don't have to fight him. In fact, there are very few of them that you do have to fight. But once you get it down, it's much more manageable once you understand how to do it. We're going to try to get a backstab on him. I never do. It's a great way to waste an Estus flask, though, trying to get that backstab. I'm gonna get stabbed. I'm not. Alright, so I like to lure him up to this level ground here. So you can do a backstab loop, which is where every time his sword dips to the ground, you can hit him with another backstab. That's his cue that he's entering an idle animation. So check out how his sword is pointing. He wakes up facing you. As soon as the sword dips to the ground, that's his idle stance with the sword pointed down. Also, another way to deal with these guys, they're very telegraphed to parry. And then you can enter the backstab loop from here. Like right now, I hit him into the wall, so I wouldn't want to try to go behind him. That would likely complicate stuff. You can't parry the shield bash, so you just kind of step to the right around it. Wait till that sword dips to the ground. That's when you know he's back in his idle animation. Titanite chunk, not a great drop there. They do have a random loot table, those guys in particular. Just a chunk's not an amazing drop. But the reason you want to look for that sword tip to go down is because you cannot backstab somebody who's in their get up animation. And that's kind of my indicator for when the get up animation is done and when he's back in his idle. We picked up the blue tearstone ring. This boosts your defense when you have low HP. This is going to require some testing. I do not believe it works on the hit that brings you to low HP, but it just works on subsequent hits. So it's honestly pretty useless. If it were a ring that could like save you from being one shot, it would be really, really good because it would give you that like one shot threshold protection. But it doesn't. If you get brought down to 20%, you have increased defense, but to what end? You're at 20% health. Pretty much everything's going to kill you in one shot anyway. Here is another door that we can open with our master key. We're not going to right now. We're not going to open it right now. But we'll go in there. Here's some barrels. A little therapy right there. Preparing you for this actual guy that you want to break the barrel for. You can get a Twinkling Titanite, 2 large Titanite shards. Or two Twinkling, 2 large. Those are upgrade materials. Very, very important in this game to upgrade your weapons. Like, almost more important than upgrading your character. It's kind of wild how much emphasis is put on that. When you're fighting this guy, I'm going to try to cheese him. There's a cheese strategy for this guy. I'm not good at doing it. I've gotten it to work once or twice, but it's always been kind of like phoned in. You hit me. Thank you. We're going to try to get the Tauros demon to kill himself. I'm really bad at it. I'll be the first to tell you. But it's fun if we make it work. So I believe we come right around here, and then we're going to loop around him. He's going to jump. We're going to roll to the right. I think that's the setup. Alright, we're going to go to the right. Oh, shit. So he has a jump back. There it is. Dang it. If we can get him to jump backwards off that specific spot in the cliff, he'll kill himself. Another way to do it, or the quote-unquote intended way to do it, is to run him back here. He's going to catch me. Damn. I'm not going to get this climb. This might kill me. Oh, it won't. Cool. So you can land a plunging attack on this guy. And you can just run back and rinse and repeat. Yeah, I almost rolled off the edge there. That would have been bad. So how I used to do this, I would just run all the way back. And then run towards him. He's going to jump. Roll under. and then sprint. And you can make this climb 99 times out of 100 before he's able to slash it yet. Oh my god, this is going to be the time. Wow. So there's my Ring of Protection kicking in. So that next hit, I would have increased defense against it. Whoop-de-doo. I hate that attack with all of my heart and soul. Thank you, sir. That's so hard to avoid. We're going to climb up here again. Ooh, he almost got us again. That would have been wild. You can also, if you stand up there for long enough, he will jump up there and you can actually fight him up there. Which is kind of the other quote-unquote intended strat. And I'm going to run him back and show you. Is he going to hit me? He got me a little bit. So we're going to do the last bit of it up here. Come here, big guy. I'm running low on healing. I need to stop playing with this guy and actually fight him. So the key is just to roll into him. Ow, dick. I don't actually know what just happened. Why he staggered like that. That was interesting. Okay. 3,000 souls. Homeward Bone. And, yeah. Bada bing, and therefore bada boom. Tauros Demon's down. I used way more healing than I would like, but that's okay. I was kind of messing around. And I'm using a stick, so, you know. So this guy, everybody's favorite Sunbro, Mr. Solaire of Astora. This is the guy that's going to give us the co-op rock, aka the White Sign Soapstone. Yep, this is how we would do co-op. We might do a little bit of co-op once we get our build ironed out. We might do a little bit of co-op. I like the online of Dark Souls 2 and 3 a lot better than 1, so I don't know how much multiplayer I'm going to be doing in 1, but I'm definitely going to be doing multiplayer in 2 and 3, 100%. So this is the part that gave people a lot of grief. Remember the Hellkite Drake that I showed you earlier that caused a lot of people some problems? Look at the path in front of you. That is black. That's charred. Okay? There's your hint. That's the only hint you get. Oh, God. So he was probably on his way, and I just ignored him. So that's the Hellkite Drake. That's kind of a cheap death. We're going to try to make the run down here, and he just glares at us the whole goddamn time. And in the first patch of this game, actually, on its release, he would keep breathing. So, like, you'd try to run down that bridge, and he'd breathe fire at you again. And again, and again, and again, and again. And it ended up being like you had to wait for him to breathe and then run, and you had literally the exact amount of time you needed if you rolled to get down there. It was kind of insane. We're just going to kind of go for a little bit of quality build right now. We're not necessarily building towards any specific weapon or playstyle. Okay. Does the regular club have that? Yeah. Alright, so we made a minor upgrade in our weapon. Emphasis on minor. And we've unlocked a shortcut. So starting next time, we're actually going to call it here. But starting next time, we are going to start from here and move forward with the rest of the Undead Burg. I'm going to try to be this thorough for every part of the game. I'm going to try to spend as much time as I can going over tactics, going over, the uses of every item that we can get. Just trying to be as thorough as I can be, because I want some definitive Souls playthroughs on camera. And again, it kind of bums me out that I don't have any. So... yeah. We're going to go ahead and call it for this evening. Guys, my name is Jacob, otherwise known as JayJax. We're back on Dark Souls, and this time we're going to finish it, and this is going to be your character right here, this naked piece of beef jerky. So, thank you guys so very much for watching. Have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you next time.